Home is here in Christchurch, really, and I've been here for just going on 7 years now. We were actually on our way to the TEDxEQChCh conference in California, and I had a talk, a speaking slot at that conference previously scheduled. It was a 3-minute speaking slot. We were at a friend's house, at a dinner party at a friend's house, and it just so happened that someone who was at this dinner party was going to be on the news that night. And so they turned on the TV specifically to watch this guest who was there with us on her news segment. And of course, the news led with Christchurch. And, so we immediately raced back to our hotel and started texting and calling people. I had submitted my talk months prior. I had submitted my slides weeks prior. It was all set up what I was going to do. And then 2 days prior to my talk, they gave me permission to change the topic to speak about Christchurch and my hopes for the future of the city. I mean, it wasn't much of a vision. I basically said that, this terrible thing has happened and our hearts are breaking, but the rubble of the city might also contain its promise. And so we have the ability to reimagine the city however we choose. TED is a conference that started in 1984, and originally it stood for Technology, Entertainment, Design. And over the years, it's evolved to just be ideas worth spreading. So what they do is every year they bring kind of the most amazing people from all over the world doing whatever randomly amazing things they're doing, and they give them up to 18 minutes to deliver the talk of their lives. The event we did in May was really, we had to kind of get a special exemption from TED in order to run it because they don't tend to endorse events that are so focused on one particular theme. And our May event was the future of the city post-quake. X equals independently organized TED event. So what happens is you apply to TED, you get a license from them to operate an independently organized event. They give branding support, they give structural support, they give access to the community of TEDx organizers around the world, and then it's really up to us to pull off the event. But one of the things is the power of the TED brand as an organizing principle. As soon as we said TEDx, even though it's the X, even though it's independent, everyone got immediately what we were trying to pull off. And then because of that, it meant that we were able to align support around, this event, it took so many people were involved to pull it off, so many organizations, incredible sponsors, incredible speakers from all over the world, hundreds of volunteers, thousands of volunteer hours, all of this came together from when I got back to Christchurch March 7th to May 21st, so 2.5 months, because we didn't have to explain what we were trying to do. My particular brand of pragmatic optimism is manifested in this kind of over-the-top American-style enthusiasm, which is not always well-received, but what ends up happening, certainly in an environment like Christchurch, is that it stands out. And one thing about rallying people around you is that you kind of have to stand out so that people know where to rally, right? So to turn something from potential into reality, you have to kind of talk it into existence. And then the more and more people get involved, then the more something can become something tangible and real. I don't really have a sort of science for how it all came together, and you don't always know whether you've done it right until the day goes. But in the end, I was very happy with the range of speakers. One of the things that I always strive to do is bring additional perspectives to things without saying that the perspective from here is wrong in any way, but I just feel the wider our perspective, the greater our possibilities are. And so, we brought in people from Denmark, we brought in people from Australia, we brought in people from the States. Cameron, of course, came on his eternal world tour. And just because there are a lot of people in the world who have experiences that are really relevant to what we're going through right now. One of the amazing things that came out of the earthquake was this EQNZ hashtag on Twitter where the global community can just come together and have this amazingly interactive public conversation about what's going on in the city. And I take a look at it, and they've got this company in the Netherlands that makes profile pictures for Twitter accounts. So the CEO of that company, Jeroen van der Most, he was really passionate about the project, and he basically created an artwork that was an image of the Christchurch Cathedral stylized in the form of Van Gogh's Starry Night. And he rendered this out of EQNZ hashtag tweets from all over the world that were taken from pretty soon after the quake happened. So, tweets of fear, of concern, of love, of hope, everything you can imagine, different languages, different alphabets. And he made this incredible artwork. It's absolutely stunning. We're an optimistic people, right? We want to be optimistic about the future of the city, and there is a lot that's just difficult right now. And there's a lot that's difficult because bureaucracy has grown up, but there's a lot that's just difficult, no matter how good your bureaucracy. I mean, we've got it pretty good. Like, there are places like Haiti where people are far worse off than us because they have no bureaucracy whatsoever, and they would give anything for a little bureaucracy, right? So there's stuff that just is inherent to the situation. It's just difficult for everybody. It's not something where I say I would ever wish this on anyone, but there was, I think, a great gift in this crisis, which is, we have this shared experience that is so deep and so powerful that, it's worth acknowledging. We're all human, so we all deal with our stuff as best we can, but, worth remembering that we do have that shared connection.